Hello. How are you? I'm marking out so hard right now. The hardest maybe I've ever marked out since we started this, because I'm here with Andy fucking Williams of Every Time I Die.
Hi.
Guitar player / wrestler / podcast host.
Guy.
Any other slash that I should know
went to
about?
culinary school. I was a wheel cook for Perkins once.
A wheel cook for Perkins. What
Yeah.
exactly is a wheel cook?
You're basically the captain of the ship. You're making the eggs, you're flipping them, stuff like that. You got a guy that makes the pancakes for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Is that a true story?
Yeah, that's a true story.
It's incredible.
I've had some pretty crazy jobs in my life.
How many years have you been in professional wrestling now?
It all depends. I took a really long break. I took a 17-year break. I started training when I was 18 years old, tore my ACL, which then made me pick up a guitar, take it seriously, and then I've started a band and been in the band ever since.
A band?
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, okay there, Josh Barnett. I was like, I think I'm just gonna start training in pro wrestling. I just wanted to do it basically for like a workout. So he's like, come out to California, blah, blah, blah. And then all I wanted to do is like, I'm gonna do one match. I just want to do one match, blah, blah. And then start training with him. Then obviously I don't live in California, so like it was very like few and far between. Like go out, do something with him, learn a little bit, then home, and then like Grapplers Anonymous started in Buffalo. So I started training with Grapplers Anonymous, obviously caught the bug, and then did one match, and then here we are.
Yeah.
3 years later.
About how I only want to do one match. I go, motherfucker, you're going to do one match, and all it's going to do is light a spark. And so he started off by doing all these little run-ins here and there.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, I know that gets your blood going, but it's not going to be this. Once you do a match, I've tried to book him in Japan before to come do tags and different stuff with me if I could make it happen. I go, I will make you wrestle. I will attack you into forcing you into a match if I have to. It's just, there's no way you're going to do one match and be done with it.
Yeah.
You did one match, then you couldn't get enough.
Yeah, so I did like a tag match, and it was cool, but it was still like gimmicky. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was awesome. Interspecies wrestling was cool as fuck, but like they literally said, do whatever you want. My first match, I'm just like, I want to do everything. And then realized that like rushing is a thing and timing is a thing. They gave me 12 minutes. I was out of the ring in 4.5. True story. 4.5 minutes was done, and the dudes were like
the first time he had sex, he thought it was going to be.
Literally.
Thought he was going to go all night, just like all the R&B songs said.
No,
it was over
and a half minutes later. And there I was.
Was your first match longer or shorter than your first time having sex?
Sex was a little bit longer, but yeah, my first match was like, it was a squash, but like it was supposed to be a pretty. When I did my first, he's got it.
Thank you for your contribution.
Josh Barnett, guys.
Josh Barnett, everybody.
The War Master.
The War Master trainer of Andy Williams.
I'll tell you what, that guy right there is he can tell you how to like make a tank, like an actual army tank, like put it together and then tell you 2 seconds later like who was like the main art dude on like in a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. I don't even know if he graduated high school. Yeah, he was like the guy. I did like a singles match for Smash and against a guy named Tarek, who's actually wrestling on the Christmas show tomorrow. In the match, I tore my meniscus and my knee locked up, and then I like was in extreme pain. It was like one of the worst pains I've ever felt in my life. Got to the back, and I was smiling ear to ear, and everybody was like, dude, like, you have to get surgery and stuff like that now. And I was like, dude, that was awesome. 10 days after surgery, I was on an airplane going to the UK, and I rehabbed for 10 days. That was it. Went to the UK, and then like, I remember jumping. Like my knee was just surgically done. I remember jumping in the air and like seeing Steve Michike's like face like, and I was like looking at him like in the air like, this might fucking not work. I like landed and I was like, and just like kept playing. I was like, oh, that's good.
So what are you going to do, not jump, you know?
Yeah, fuck that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Van Halen wrote that song, so.
Heavy metal or wrestling, what started first for you?
I don't know. I specifically remember walking down Allen Street in my neighborhood with my friend Jason Ortiz and said, I'm going to play guitar in a fucking rock band. And I was like 10. But I've also had a conversation with my friend Pasquale Maggiore, and I said, I'm going to be Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Pasquale Maggiore, who actually is a worker in Buffalo, he had the NWA Nintendo video game where you could be Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert on it. I knew that I could be Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, and I also knew that I could be Dr. Death on that game. So I became friends with Pasquale Maggiore just so I could play the video game. And then I would go to his house, and like he would be like, oh man, blah. I'd be like, yeah, where's the video game? Like he would talk about like normal life stuff. I'd be like, yeah, where's the video game, man? Hey, can we go in there and play that video game?
Okay, so let's speak a little bit about what the hell is about to happen here. We're at the Pipe Works.
This
What are
is
these
the
buildings
Riverworks.
outside
This is
there?
a Riverworks.
Riverworks, Pipe Works.
Outside used to be, and this is me making this shit up. Outside used to be General Mills. So you'll smell cereal in the area. If you go outside, you'll sell, I swear on my life, you'll smell cereal if you walk outside. And that's like one thing Buffalo's known for is that the downtown area always smells like cereal. It's the weirdest thing in the world because General Mills is like right here.
That's the first thing I noticed about you.
I smell like cereal?
Yeah.
It's mahogany. Yeah, that is pretty cool. I am very flaky. Josh has a story. This is a great story. I'm gonna bury you right now, and this sucks, buddy. It has to do with his pee hole.
The urethra,
pee
for
hole.
those following at home, the
Yeah,
urethra.
if you like science, it's a urethra. So Josh tells me this story, and he goes, oh man, this one time I thought I had a sexually transmitted disease. And I said, oh, why? He goes, I was pissing fire. And then I realized that the night before, I drank like the hottest ramen in LA or something like that.
You had to finish the whole bowl.
Yeah, and he just sucked it down really fast. That was the first story you ever told me. And then at the same exact
Something
time,
you could relate to.
yo, at the same time,
Burning urethras.
hey, at the same time,
Name of my new band.
Jimmy Aew'S walks in, and you go, I kicked that guy's ass. Hey, what's up, Jimmy? So we're hanging out at an old tour manager's house that lived in LA. I was staying there, and he comes over and hangs out. This is like our first like real like hang. We were like.
It was your
together
first real hang.
for a while. Yeah, you know what I mean?
It'd been some time.
Yeah, and we were like,
texted. We stormed all over downtown LA, stomped all over the place. We hung out at the Westin Bonaventure, which is like a throwback from the 80s.
yeah, and something was filmed there. We started looking up movies that were filmed there.
This is true.
The movies had to have been filmed here.
Eraser. And then Andy's like, they filmed the fight scene from They Live is down here somewhere.
Yeah.
So we found the alley.
They live.
And then we walked, and then we reenacted the fight scene.
Yeah, we did. We stepped through it. We walked
Yeah.
around. There, we kicked a rat. It was great.
awesome.
Which one of you was Roddy Piper?
I don't think
I
we
don't know if
talked
we really,
about that.
Yeah, we didn't really work that
I'm
out.
more of a Keith David guy.
Right.
So
I met Keith David and managed to keep my shit together. So I'm
Who's
pretty
David
proud of
Keith?
myself. David Keith. Well, he's the
there's Keith David and there's David Keith.
David Keith is like a white guy actor from
He's,
the 80s.
You might remember him as Kingman from the movie Major League 2.
But it's not Keith David.
It's David Keith.
Right, but I'm saying it's not Keith David.
Yeah, Keith David. The most notable Keith David line in a movie. Don't touch another man's fries. What movie?
Fuck, I couldn't tell you.
Men at Work.
Oh shit, that's
Yeah.
right. Yes.
Don't touch another man's fries.
Neil Estevez and Charlie Sheen.
Chuck Sheen.
Hudson?
Ernie Hudson was like the token black guy in the 90s.
Fucking Morgan Freeman played a streetwise, intimidated Christopher Reeves in Street Smart. The
bad guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big pig.
Yeah, he was
hot chicks that were going to be trained.
And then he turns and like he sees this kid.
arm,
and then they
popping it,
know.
popping it, popping
and
it.
then around the mouth goatee. I got to shave. Oh, I kind of have one now.
Nice.
Okay, what do we got here, man?
Hey, you want to do an interview or?
Look at this. This is my mania, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 40.
Andy Mania.
This might be my retirement match tomorrow.
Andy Mania, that's a good idea too, actually.
No, that's a horrible idea. I hated WBF when I was a kid.
You hated it.
I hated Hogan. I didn't like Hogan until last year. And then just because I watched his early '83 stuff in Japan.
I know how you feel. I didn't like Hogan as a kid either. But then as I revisited Hogan and
Oh,
also getting to
dude.
know about Hogan from behind the
Yeah.
scenes, I never gave it context as a child. Duh, I'm a dumb kid. And it's like, when people talk shit on his leg drop, I go, you do realize that he's like 6'8"
Yeah.
and 300 pounds of solid muscle. Do you think you're gonna get up if he drops his fucking leg on your head?
Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
Full decapitation.
How about if he just starts just hitting you with his hands? I've shook Hogan's hands many a time.
I've never
He's
been in
got
the same
big
room as him.
fucking mitts. Can you
I was
imagine
in
that thing?
I was in the same room as Clint Eastwood once.
into a giant fucking ham hock and hitting you in the face with it. It would hurt.
What were
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood's hands like?
I didn't meet him. I was just in the same room as him. But I wasn't.
You got squinted at.
Hey, the same room. There was a crazy Mel Gibson. Like right after all the stuff. like gray beard, like hanging out. Nobody was hanging with him.
Wow.
He was just there.
He had a menorah that he was bending into pieces.
So that happened, and then I almost knocked John Voight over. And then he like threw some like knowledge at me. This is a movie.
Is this all the same
that
thing?
He threw some knowledge.
He did. I went like this. I like.
Hey, when another man's
I ran
crossing
up the stairs and I was like this, and I was like, "Holy shit, John Voight, I'm sorry." And he goes, I never got anywhere fast rushing in life." I was like,
Whoa.
I'm gonna go pee.
I don't know how to finish this except by saying that
Listen,
I love
tomorrow. Yeah, I love you too.
Yeah,
we're
all right.
playing a sick show here in Buffalo. It's a Christmas show held by Every Time I Die. It's gonna have carnival games. Right out there, there's like some ice skating rinks where you can do some ice skating. You can do some curling. There's gonna be wrestling in here. There's gonna be a mall Santa right up there.
Are you
DJ
gonna be
for
Santa
like,
for a little while at least? No, man. If you would, I'd sit on your lap.
I hate Christmas.
Why do you,
That makes you even a better quality candidate for Santa.
what's your problem with Christmas?
Do you really want to know the real
what's your
answer?
beef?
All right.
Here we go.
We're in therapy now. All right, cool. The reason why I hate Christmas is I have a non-resonant voice that gets talked over a lot, and I have a family of people that
I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I have a family of just loud-speaking people, and at family time, they just talk over me, so I just go see movies. I get up, I give everybody their present, and then I go, I look at, the first movie is The Bridges of Madison County. Sure, I'm gonna go see that one.
That was directed by Clint Eastwood.
I know. That's why I said it. One year I did this. I got up, I saw Benjamin Button, which is actually an emotional grenade, if you know what that is. The movie ends, you leave, you go in your car, start driving, and then you have to pull over because you start crying. Because the pin is pulled, 8 seconds later, you start crying and you realize, man, I love my dad. And you start crying. And then your friend calls you that you saw the movie with, and he goes, are you crying in your car? And I said, yeah. And he goes, me too, man, I can't stop. And I was like, all right, hey, let's meet up at 2 and see Marley and Me. True story. Dog dies. Spoiler alert. I look over and he goes, yo, I think they turned the air conditioning on here, man. It's really dry in here. And we're crying so bad that an old lady turns around 3 rows in front of us and goes, hey guys, it's gonna be okay. I said, thank you very much.
So you've always been kind of an emotional guy.
I cry all the time. I'm gonna cry tomorrow. You're gonna see me cry.
Because it's Andy Mania.
No, I will 100% cry tomorrow if a microphone gets put in my hand. But I gotta say this, wrestling is totally real. Everything that you see tomorrow is just 2 men trying to win the entire time. It's combat, it is about winning, and at some point in time in another match, I might do a high cross body onto another man, grab the mic, and do an emotional talk. You know, it might happen. I don't know. I was the best man in my best friend's wedding. They put the mic in my hand, and I fucking couldn't get a goddamn word out.
The whole time.
I couldn't get a word out for 7 minutes, and then I had to tell the crowd that I would beat the shit out of them. And then I was cool, composed, and did it. Then another one of my friends had me what is it? Like when you're the guy that I'm not a priest. I'm a reverend.
Oh, you were the
yeah, there you go. I married him, and as soon as I saw her come down. And I'm the guy that's in charge. Someone just keeps calling.
An acoustic version of More Than Words at some
Big
point.
Nate.
All right, we'll let you take your call with Big Nate.
I gotta answer this because he's called like 9 times.
All right, talk to Big Nate.
It's probably got something to do with the hotel room because he's in charge of.
He's probably like outside in the freezing cold right now,
man,
pacing back and forth, and you just ignored him for 20 minutes of 90s movies. Didn't even get a good interview out of you.
Yeah, fucking right, man. I gave you goddamn gold. Huh?
All right, geez, whoa.
No, it's okay, man.
Okay, can I just hug you and mark out for my? Fuck Big Nate. I love you so much. I love Every Time I Die. I love wrestling.
Hell yeah.
And I'm so happy that we got to spend this time together.
Tomorrow, man, it's gonna be fucking sick. This is the coolest one. It's gonna start everything. So don't worry, we're gonna have Hogan next year.
Yeah. You hear that? You want to
Hear that,
call?
Hulk Hogan?
You
Hear
call
that, Terry? Yeah.
I
was just talking about Terry Man from Muscle. If you know what I'm talking about, Muscle, the video game.
Anyway, look up all of those movies. Look up all of Every Time I Die's songs.
Ernie Hudson, sick. Keith David, sick. The badass from Roadhouse that has a knife in his boot. Awesome.
Super bad.
No, that's what I was getting at. I told you cut me off on that, or you cut me off on that. There was a sick thing in the 90s, like action movie, when a dude would just show up repping Native American. Like, doesn't look Native American at all, but he's got like a bone necklace on.
Right.
But he's a
he's
a badass from Tennessee with a knife in his boot.
And he starts kicking all over the place.
Yeah.
He's gonna go on like this all
Indian
night.
foot fighting.
All night long.
There it is.
Like,
I literally have to be back at 8 a.m.
Fucking Jack, Billy Jack. Indian foot fighting.
Billy Jack. How about the fact that they tried to make they tried to make Billy Jack Haynes after Billy Jack? That's like a revelation right now that just happened. Billy Jack Haynes is just a fucking character of a fucking horrible movie of a guy.
Terrible. Of a guy who almost does no martial arts.
He just does a kick. And then they just are like, yo, we're going to get this Jack brother from Oregon. He's going to come in, he can barely talk, barely move. He throws a lariat. There it is. All right, we're done.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're just going to put that up unedited. Just put it up right like that. Boulevard Bullies.